People often ask the question, is the American dream dead? I believe the moment we stop dreaming, we might as well be. Hi, I'm your host, Craig Sewing, the creator of American Dream TV, a national TV show centered around real estate, lifestyle, and culture. A real show showing you real neighborhoods from real professionals. Today, we're going to take you all across the country, showing you why we live in the greatest country on the planet. Let's get this show started right now.
Welcome to the American Dream. I'm Joe Hafner. I'm about 30 miles southeast of Nashville at Brewer Point subdivision in Murfreesboro. Today I'm going to introduce you to an icon, a man who rose from humble roots to build one of the most successful home construction companies the state of Tennessee has ever seen. John Floyd, president of Old South, thanks so much for joining us. You've been doing this for nearly 40 years, in real estate over 40, I believe, right?
Right.
From a product standpoint, what is it about Old South that sets you apart from the rest of the market?
I would say by far the number one thing that sets us apart is we basically build affordable housing. 70% of our homes are first-time home buyer homes, and most builders don't want to go into that market because to be in the first-time home buyer market, you have to be a developer. You have to develop your own lots because there's no profit to be made on the lot. So there's nobody going to go out and develop lots for you to sell them to you so you can build those houses. So it's a bigger deal. You've got two parts. You got to get the lot developed and then build the house.
You once told me that success comes from 80% hustle and 20% luck. Tell me what that means to you and how it's played out in your career.
Getting in the real estate business in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is Middle Tennessee, at the time I did, Nissan had just opened their plant, and the growth was just tremendous in Nashville. That's where you're gonna have to call the luck card. I mean, I could have been born in McMinnville or something, or some other state or something, and would never have had the ability to be as successful as I've been in the company. Because when I say me, I'm talking about Old South.
I think it's fair to say you're a self-made man, but people who are self-made get help along the way. What are some of the key things that made a big difference, the luck, so to speak, that helped you become what you are now?
My father grew up so poor, and he taught me to work hard, and I mean work hard from the time I was 12 or 13 years old. So that had a huge impact on my life because all I knew was work. That was a huge impact on my life, was my dad's giving me work ethics.
So there was a time when I first moved to Murfreesboro back in the early 2000s when every good agent in Murfreesboro was trained by Howard Wall.
Yeah.
And so also too, I know that Howard taught you about giving back.
Howard and Sally were huge in philanthropic endeavors. They did a lot for Middle Tennessee, did a lot for MTSU, did a lot for the local school system. He just taught me to be generous with donations to various projects in Middle Tennessee.
So, okay, and that leads me to the John Floyd Foundation. How did that come about?
Oh, I had heard about foundations over the years, and in 2003 I decided I would start one, and it's done really well, and we probably give to 50 or 60 different charitable organizations here in Middle Tennessee every year.
And we're going to talk to Chris Truelove from Special Kids. What about Special Kids captured you?
Oh, if you go to Special Kids, if you go over to their facility and you walk out of there with a dry eye, you're a tough individual. Those kids have just got such huge handicaps, and in some cases it's minor handicaps, but some of them have just major handicaps, and you see them in their situation and it just tears your heart out. So that's an easy gift for us every year, and they've done a tremendous amount of stuff over there at Special Kids. I mean, in the millions of dollars. So it's one of our biggest charities we do.
John Floyd, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Chris Truelove, Executive Director of Special Kids, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about what Special Kids is all about.
Okay, Special Kids was started in September of 1998, and we're a Christian organization, and we care for children who have special health care needs. We offer services in occupational, physical, speech therapy, feeding therapy on an outpatient basis.
Okay, and how do you get your funding?
Our funding is 50% or roughly comes from our patient fees and insurance and TennCare billings. The other 50%, we're relying upon a generous community to help us to fill in that part of our budget.
Okay, well, and that brings me to John Floyd, who's a big donor to Special Kids. What has he meant to your organization?
I don't know that words would really encapsulate what he's meant to us. He's been a great supporter, a friend, and also, in addition to the dollars that he's brought us so many contacts and new relationships with his vendors, his employees, and others in the community. And really, one of the things I've observed is, as a community leader, John Floyd commands respect, and his influence is, I don't really know that it knows any limits. So when John is involved with something, a lot of people get involved simply because he's involved with it.
Awesome. And as Chris said, Special Kids gets 50% of their funding from generous people. So they have their website where you can go ahead and reach out to them and be a part of what they're doing. Chris, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
To truly appreciate what John Floyd has done in 40 years of home building, let's take a minute to reflect on the legacy he's creating. Thousands of homes built, millions of dollars given to charity, and an unmatched impact on the Middle Tennessee landscape. Join me again next time when I will share another real story from small town Tennessee.